You're watching the Auction Network.
Hi, I'm Tava Smiley. You can't have an auction without an auctioneer. Here in Wickenburg, the man is O.C. Mangold.
I'm O.C. Mangold, the CEO and a dual owner, of course, with my wife Joanie, of Mangold Auction Service, LLC, and appraisal service. We do all types of auctions as well as personal property appraisals. 75, a little bit, and 80, a little bit, 75, a little bit, and 80, a little bit, 75, now 80. Sold him $75.
I'm Joanie Mangold. My husband is O.C. Mangold. I'm very, very proud to be part of the auctioneer profession.
35 online, would you go 40? 40 is bid, in-house now 45. Get along at 45, would you go 45? And I sold it in-house to number 40.
I have been in the business since 1971, and actually I'm starting my 37th year now, and that will be in June. Oftentimes people say, O.C., you don't know what it's like to lose your partner, or to have to sell your business, or to have to sell your farm. I am probably one of the very few auctioneers that have had the opportunity, when my folks retired from farming up by Worthington, Minnesota, in the southwest corner of Minnesota, I sold the family farm that my folks owned for 53 years, the farm that I was born and raised on. And I had the opportunity to sell that. At that particular time of standing up in front of the crowd and selling that farm, it was like selling a car, a horse, a chair, anything. But let me tell you folks something. When people say, O.C., you don't know what it's like, going down the road after that auction, there was 2 hours of extreme emotion. And even today, when I think of it, now the only thing that's left of our family farm is the driveway off the road.
26 years that we've been married, and I started out being an auction clerk, his cashier, a little bit of advertising, did a lot of the setup, and gradually after all these years of clerking alongside of him, I started to, imitate the voice in my head and know when he was about ready to say sold. And pretty soon I started picking up the chant, and now I am alongside of him selling.
I have 40 in-house, 50 online, now 60. Bid along at 60. Would you go 60?
60 is bid online, now 5. 60, a little bit of 60, now 5. 60, now 5, a little bit of 60, now 5. 65 in-house, now 70. If you want to make it in the auction business, you have to dedicate your life to it. I walked away from 13 years as a medical technologist, 4 years in college to go into the auction business, so I walked away from an awful lot to become an auctioneer. Chris, we got the auction going on here. He gets involved. He gets so excited when he gets around people.
When I was a teacher for 25 and a half years, it was easy for me to get up in front of a whole entire assembly of 2,000 students and address the crowd at a pep fest. And then I think of it the same way. I'm addressing the crowd, and it doesn't scare me one bit. And it's just very natural to sell.
95, bid along at 95, bid along at 95, now 100. I'll just make it even, 100. Let's cut it off, 100. He said yes.
Here's an article from the Minneapolis Star and Tribune on our exotic animal and bird auctions. We sold everything from aoudad to zebra, reptiles, cobras, pythons, boa constrictors, black molitor lizards, and sand snakes, and all sorts of, even a tarantula. And this arena, by the way, held 780 people. We would pack 1,000 to 1,100 people in that arena, and we sold everything like you can see right here. This kid here, he's got a python stuck around his neck. So it was a phenomenal thing. Sold 20 exotic sales for 25 years. It was a wonderful experience, but I felt like I was being selfish. I had to turn the fun over to somebody else. After 25 years, it was time to share the fun.
Would you go 110, sir? Would you go 110? 110? Would you go 110? 110? Well, guess what, online bidder? You got them for $105.
Over the years, we've been very blessed with numerous awards that we've achieved. Of course, serving on the board of directors of the National Auctioneers Association. In fact, I served 2 terms. 3-year terms. So 6 years I was on the national board, served as president of the Minnesota Auctioneers Association, and Minnesota, by the way, has one of the largest associations in the nation. I was inducted into the Minnesota Auctioneers Hall of Fame here just a year ago right now. This is the painting that Joanie done for the National Auctioneers Association Auxiliary Scholarship Foundation.
The title of the painting is Unsung Heroes, and it's dedicated to all the clerks, the cashiers, the setup people, the advertising artists, all the behind the scenes of the auctioneer. And that is why they are the unsung heroes.
I've had the honor of being the president of the Fellowship of Christian Auctioneers, 4 different terms. The Lord is in our life. We start every day with a walk with the Lord. And we usually start out on the patio. We can hear the sound of the birds, and it's so unique because we can hear the Lord's nature calling to us while we start our walk. And this was a gavel that Joanie bought me as the president, the first president of the Auctioneers, Fellowship of Christian Auctioneers International. We have over 600 members. We're very proud of the fellowship, and of course, oftentimes auctioneers work as grief counselors, but sometimes they need grief counseling because of the hypertensity of the business. And so, anyway, it's a wonderful fellowship and a union between us as well as the Lord. Personality helps, but the number one thing is integrity. The number 2 thing is have ethics, and the number 3 thing is give your clients value for what they're getting.
Oh, he has a great auction every time. I've been to several of his auctions, bought quite a few different items from him. It's always fun to come and see what's going on and see what they have to sell.
49, 45. Sold them $40 online.
This is what it's about. Every day I feel like I'm learning one new thing, and it's all around the world of the auction business.
If you lose the excitement and the interest and the enthusiasm of an auction before you have it, if you're flat and you don't have the enthusiasm and you haven't built up some energy to go into that auction, I'm going to tell you something. You're going to have a flat auction. It's like anything else. You know, you have to put yourself into it. And if you don't have just a little bit of a hypertensive reaction to the auction that you're going to be going into, chances are you're going to be flat when you do it. So there's always got to be a little anxiety and a little anticipation.
45 in-house, now 50. Bid them long at 50. Bid them long at 50. Would you go 50? 50 is bid.
I love the competition. I love the intrigue of the excitement of the crowd, and that kind of reflects back from the days of teaching.
Even after over 30 years in the auction business, friends, I'm going to tell you something. There's a learning process that goes on every day in your life.
To register for future live auctions, go to auctionnetwork.com.